Thanks for joining me for another volume of the Big Six. This week, our focus will be core stability. Some of it we can look at as really more core integration, but when I think about that, I think about how do we allow the upper body and lower body to work well together. When we do things like squatting, when we do explosive lifts, and just really some of the things that we do in our day-to-day life, require us to be able to keep the core engaged so that we decrease pressure on our low back while still being able to achieve whatever the task is. First exercise will be a side plank. I tend to like sitting tall. If you can get to a position similar to this. So I'm really kind of sitting into my left hip and I want to stay tall. I don't really want to feel like I've got to lean here. From this position, I'm going to go down to where I get my elbow on the ground. And I don't want my elbow way behind me or way in front. Kind of try to get everything lined up. By starting here, I just have a good sense of where my body is in space. I'm going to extend my left leg. I bring my right leg over the top. And to start, I can come up into that position and then reach. I can make a fist or I can go flat and then back down. If that's too challenging, I can bend the knee or bend my knees. This is still my start position. I can come up. I can go here. Now, I'm trying to maintain this position. If I feel good here and I feel like I can extend my hip, I can then extend my right leg and lift my right leg a bit. And I can bring it back down. All right? Now this position here, and I love with side planks. For me, it's not holding it for a long period of time. It's really exploring what I like to call reflexive stability. So if I go to reach for a door, I'm not holding that for a minute. I'm reaching for the door and pulling it open. So I really need the muscles that help support my spine, my pelvis, my foot and ankle. I need them to engage quickly, but I also be able to turn off quickly. So again, just to review, side plank, you can start in this position if you can. If not, maybe starting here, working down to position on your side, then the position here, and then you're going to come up into that side plank. And of course, you're going to do both sides. So you can alternate sides, or you can just do all of these on one side. So if I started going to my right, I start nice and tall, down to my right elbow, here, and then I come up. And that's my side plank. We're going to do a modified push-up. And the reason we want to modify this push-up is to still work on a stability component or core integration component. A push-up is a difficult move. However, there's so much value in it. I think that finding ways to regress it or make it less difficult, but still experience the positive input that your brain and your body gets from doing a push-up is beneficial. So a modified push-up will start quadruped. And you're going to walk out. I want your hands turned out just a little bit. All right, so we're not going to drop and sag here. Push the ground away, maintain some stability. Okay, good alignment. And we're going to drop down, push back up. And get my hands a little bit wider. Good. And what you can do as you do your push-up is you can start pushing your shoulder blades away. And as you go down, really squeeze your shoulder blades together and then push your shoulder blades away at the top. Okay? But with the push-up, you want to maintain good body position. All right? If you want to make this more difficult, you can take one leg back. Good. And that's basically a one-legged push-up, but you go to the left and you can do the same thing. If you want to, you can alternate legs. You can push for 10, you can push for 5, you can push for 3, you can just do 1, or you can just get into the position. It's really just what your fitness level allows, but the goal is just to get some input, to have an experience of what being able to stabilize your body and being able to control your own body in space feels like. We're going to do a half kneeling knee hover. Think of this in terms of a lunge, reverse lunge in particular. Think of a squat. Think of doing a step up. They all are changes of elevation. So from this half kneeling position, I want to keep my femur kind of under this hip. Okay, I'm going to curl my toes under to engage, and then from this position, I'm just going to come up and then back down. And you can think, just get 1 inch or maybe 2 inches off the ground. I kind of like 1 inch because if I say 1 inch, you may go 2. If I say 2 inches, you may go 3, which is, again, fine. You're working on this as your fitness level allows. If you want to, you can actually put a chair in front of you for stability. You put your hands on your left leg. If your right knee's down, you put your hands on your left leg. But you're just trying to create a little bit of tension, then back down. So it's really going to be challenging. Next side would look very similar, except my right leg is forward this time. Again, if you needed to put your hands here, or you needed a chair or a door frame, something like that, that's all. It's all about experiencing the movement. So you need to make the movement as easy as possible for you to execute it and get some good information, but also you want it to be challenging. So you want to try to strike a balance between the two. And this one will just look very similar. I'm just going to come up and then back down. All right, so again, and then back down. And that's your half kneeling knee hover. We're going to do one part of a Turkish getup. We'll start from half kneeling and work into kind of that high hip or bridge position. I'm going to take my left hand up. I'm keeping my eyes on my left hand. I'm going to find the ground with my right hand, turn my right foot, bring it through into that bridge position, bring the foot back, turn, and come up. And again, so it's find the ground, turn the foot, here, back, turn the foot, and stand. Now I'll do that on the left. With my left knee down, just kind of get an idea from different vantage point. I'm here, right arm up, find the ground, turn the foot, reach through, and back up. And that's the movement. So it's still, again, trying to keep the core engaged. You use your hip a bit, and you definitely use your upper body. But we've done some work for core integration. Now we're going to put that together in standing. So from this position, I'm going to make sure I have good alignment. I want to make sure I've got everything kind of stacked like building blocks. And I'm going to come up on my toes. And then I'm going to work through my heels. Up on my toes. I'm going to work through my heels. So from side view, it would be up on my toes, maintaining good alignment, and I'm going to go back through my heels. You could also take your arms out, which gives you a little bit more balance in terms of it increases your base of support. So it allows you to kind of work back through your heels a little bit more. And so that was the first one. What I want to do now is a split step, and I'm going to reverse this a bit. So my left toe will come up, my right heel will come up, and then back down. And so left foot or left toe, my toes come up, my heel comes up on the right. And I'm trying to stay nice and tall. If you wanted to, you could get your arms involved. Not the easiest thing to necessarily do, but it's just, you've got to keep this engaged, right? And it's allowing you then to kind of feel what's happening with your foot and ankle. That's your steering wheel. So if your hips, your motor, your knees, your passenger, your foot and ankle is your steering wheel. So you want your knees to stay fairly quiet during a lot of the movement that we do, but you also want the ability to control that motion. If my foot rolls in too much, it's going to put a lot of stress on my knee, and that stress can work up to the hip and also to the lumbar spine. That was our Big Six for the week. We hope you enjoy it and continue to move well, live well, and do amazing things.